Baby chicks, how cute are some baby chicks? Hi, I wonder, how many of y'all have ever felt like, today, I gotta talk about food. I gotta talk about food today because I feel like there's an interesting phenomenon that's been going on consistently, batch after batch of these chickens that I raise. Something I just noticed with my own self that I really want more people to start to really get a good understanding of what it is I'm talking about, what it is that I'm doing. Hey Oreo, let's get down. Something I want to talk about is the concept of how is it that there's certain foods that keep us satisfied and other foods that keep us wanting more and more and more and more. My name is Mark Anthony DuBose Jr., and I was born July 4th of 1986. And the interesting phenomena that I feel like I run into is a phenomena on, I feed my baby chicks. They so cute, they getting big fast. They cruising along, they looking real good, they're running around and they're not really sitting in the heat lamps anymore too much. They're doing what they're doing. They're really starting to grow up into being something that's just absolutely incredible, that I'm super excited for the future to come. That today, of all days, because yesterday, and not so much yesterday, but the day before that as well. Oreo, let's get down. The day before that as well, I had to change my feed. I had to go to more my feed that I really want to feed, that I really like to feed, that I've been feeding my grown chicks, that I like feeding this as a finished feed, but I've come to realize I don't want to use it as a finished feed anymore. I want to use it as a main feed. And that main feed that I noticed that something happens with the baby chicks, something goes on with them. That they're looking good, they're eating in the day, they're sleeping at night, they're eating during the day and they're sleeping at night. And then they run into a situation where they just get this like absolute franticness to them, where they're just scrambling, like they are unable to eat enough. Like no matter how much food that I give them. And I like to start them off with the commercial feeds. The commercial feed really gets them fat, really gets them plump, really gets them going right away really fast. It just really gets them fat. But something that I noticed with it, that when you start them off on that, they do get fat fast. But there comes a time in the day, it's about week 2 that I've just noticed with these specific chicks, and it would be about week 1 if you're raising quarters crosses, that they get to the point that no matter how much they eat, because you can see their stomach is their crop is in their neck. It's right here. It's a big ball. You can see all the food that's in there. They get to the point that they get so frantic that they're just eating, and they are filling it up so much to the point that it looks like it's about to burst, that they feel like they're not quite getting enough food, where they're scrambling. And that commercial feed, the stuff you get out of the already pre-made stuff, it's like, just my opinion, Mark Anthony DuBose Jr., it's like Taco Bell, it's like McDonald's, it's like Wendy's, it's like KFC, it's like Popeyes, it's like fast food. It's not great food, it's not awesome nutritional food, it's just food to fatten you up, just to get you fat and just to get you feel lazy, just to get you to feel tired and feel just like you eat it and you're just like, man, I shouldn't have did that after you did that. But for some of us, it's unfortunate that you think that's all that you have access to. You think that's all that you can get. But that's not the case. And I'm going to explain a little bit about what I just noticed with this. That I noticed that this with the animals, and I noticed this translates to us as humans the exact same way. That we eat this food. We eat this processed stuff. We eat this stuff that's burnt, that's baked on burnt, that's got all these chemicals added, that's got all this stuff in there. And we get to the point that we're just eating, and we never ever feel satisfied. That we eat it, and then I need more. I just got a 10-piece chicken nugget and I need a 30 now. And then 5 minutes later, I need a 50 now. And then 30 minutes later, you just keep going and going and going and going and going. And all it does is it just makes it go and go and go and go and go on your body. It doesn't actually come out of you. It just stays in you and you just get bigger and bigger. For a baby chick, for any baby animal, that's ideal. That's what we want. That's what we're looking for. But there becomes a time in a day that no longer is like, we can't stay on that same route. We can't keep drinking mama's milk to get us to get fat, and then we gotta lean away from that and start eating real solid foods so that we can start to learn how to maintain and start to be able to stay a certain size, stay a certain way. And I just noticed every single time with these chicks, there comes a day where it's like overnight. It's just a snap. It's like they're eating and everything's fine. Everything is good to go, and then just bam, one day they're just frantic and they just won't sleep. They're just constantly trying to eat, and they're just gorging themselves. And then they all just gorge themselves to the point that they start to, let me check that number. Let me go ahead and clear that number. I don't know who that is. I don't need a home loan right now. But they just start eating, they just keep on going to the point of just absolute destruction. Let's get down. that they just feel like I'm not getting enough. Like they're just not getting enough, even though what they're eating is giving them just a massive amount of weight, like weight so fast, so hardcore that it's just it's building them up. But they feel as if they're not getting it. They feel as if it's not enough. And that's where they run into that old frantic, or they're just running, scrambling, going crazy, just needing more. And then you're in there like, I got to put more feed in there and keep them satisfied, keep them happy. You're just going through this cycle. This is absolutely destructive cycle, a cycle that we shouldn't be doing with any of our animals. And I know a lot of y'all that raise these chickens, raise Freedom Rangers, especially Cornish Crossing. My goodness, they're disturbing on how they do this. But especially those chickens that, if you notice that they're just really ramping it up. Like you don't need a nothing. This is just what I like to do. I like to raise really good, calm, relaxed, nice chicken. I don't like to raise frantic, going crazy, feeling like they're not getting enough, over fat, fatty, nasty chicken. I like lean. I like it when it's I got a perfect balance with what I do. I finish them off with a little extra fatty, but I like them to be not disgusting, just fatty chicken. It's nasty. It's all rubbery. It's got no taste. It's got no flavor. It's got no nothing. So what I like to do is I like to give them, switch from that conventional feed, the store-bought stuff, to another store-bought stuff that I start to mix it together, put it together, get it together, make it together. I start taking sunflower seeds. I take sunflower seeds, Milo, whole oats, soybeans, corn, diatomaceous earth. I put dog food in there as well. And some eggs, eggshells, unless I have oyster shells. I think that's all I put in there. And I mix all that together and I give it to them. And I notice an instant, like as soon as they eat one batch of that, they're just like satisfied. They're like, wow, that's nice. Like they calm down again. They're just like, oh, I like that. I could deal with that. I could do that over and over. They don't like it at first though. When I first introduce it to them, they pick at it, they look at it, they leave it alone, they don't touch it. But then after I take a few bites, they feel satisfied because I can see it in them right away where they just calm down. They just relax. They just like, oh, wow, that was nice. Like it was like a fulfilled, full, complete meal. It wasn't nothing that was burnt, processed, destroyed. It was all whole, it was all full, it was all complete meal. And they got a dose of everything across it to be able to make sure that they have everything that's nutritionally valued to them, to be able to be nice and satisfied is the word that I like to use. So that I noticed that when they start going rambling, that they're just eating, I switch to that food and then they just change and transform into something completely different. And I wonder, how many of us do that exact same thing? Well, we're thinking that we're getting a good deal on a lot of this food that we're getting. Super cheap, it's super available, and feeling like we're eating good stuff, eating all these fast food restaurants, eating all these even restaurants today, people. I don't know what's going on, but I'm telling you, this I've been eating restaurants all year this year, all year. Probably 80% of my meals have been eating out, going out, eating somewhere. And this past month, I've been dedicated on just forcing myself to only eat my food, stick with my stuff, stick with my meats, stick with all my own. And I notice a huge difference in what it is, how I feel, and how I get things done, and how I'm able to process, and how I'm able to do some things on this planet. It's a huge difference that we think we're getting a deal on getting something quick, getting something cheap, and getting something fast. That we're really not. We're getting something that is not good for you, that is not keeping your mental game on point. It's not keeping your physical game on point. It's not keeping you able to even do anything successful in reality, because if your mind is always foggy, if your mind is always confused, if your mind is always thrown off, you're just never going to stay on task to do something. If your stomach is always hurting, you're never going to stay on task to get something done. If you got heartburn going on, if you got aches going on, you got all this pains going on all the time, you're never going to really stay focused to really do anything. And I wonder, how many of y'all just keep on eating stuff and feel like you're just never satisfied? You just eating, and then eat, and then eat some more, and then you're just never satisfied. That I noticed this with every single group of my animals that I raise and that I take care of. That I've done this experiment probably the last 4 batches now with these chickens that I've done, just to see how they act and what they do and what goes on with them. And at the same time, I noticed that the health behind them is way better. The stamina behind them is way better. The willingness to go out and forage and get their own food gets better. Their hardiness gets better. Everything gets better with them when I feed them a nice, solid, quality, complete meal, instead of that store-bought KFC or Taco Bell or McDonald's or Wendy's or any of that, or Chick-fil-A or any of that stuff. When I start to feed them the real food, real quality, wholesome food, things really start to change on this planet for them. That they start to want to run more. They start to want to flap their wings and jump more. They want to start running around, scratching in the ground more. They want to do more. They want to be more. They want to make more happen. And that's such an interesting concept on everything that I just noticed when I work with these animals and play with these animals and feed these animals and study these animals, that why is it that us as human beings kind of just feel like we don't do that same thing, that we go for that quick stuff instead of eating something that's quality? And then you're starting to wonder why everything on you is hurting, why everything about you is hurting, why you got headaches all the time, why you always feel lacking all the time, why you always starving and hungry all the time, and you're just wondering what's going on. That I don't know why, but I just got it in me to just let more and more people know, for one, who Jesus is. He's awesome. He's absolutely amazing. God is a great thing to be able to understand and try to get better with. And for two, got to eat some better food, people. We need to eat some way better food on this planet. And three, we need to take care of this body a little bit more and making sure we're getting the tests that we need to get tested on, to making sure that we're getting the vitamins that we need to get vitamin on, if we need to get stuff based on the tests that we got tested on. But two is especially one that I want to work on today with our food, is we need to really start to concentrate more on taking care of what kind of food that we're eating, what kind of food that's processing through our body. This one thing that we have that's in our control, this one thing that we have that is just the most absolute valuable thing that we possibly could be a part of out here. The one thing that we have that is just the greatest of the greatest is this body. And if you put in it absolute trash, you're going to expect absolute trash out of it. That's just what it is. That's the way it is. If you're always feeling what's the term, groggy, you're always feeling tired, you're always feeling weak, you're always feeling like you can't stand up and do something, I would challenge what it is that you're eating and what you're consuming. Like, even for me, I've been eating some brownies a lot lately. And those brownies are something that I noticed that I got to cut out of my diet, because they make me tired. They slow me down. They make my stomach upset sometimes. They just make me feel like not all the way there. That I'm just going to go on a whole complete, I'm just going on a carnivore diet for the next couple of weeks just to see what happens. Just see how it works, see how things dial up for me or dial down for me, or at least stay the same for me. But why is it that we don't concentrate more on putting like the best stuff we could possibly put inside of us? That with our cars, we got the best oil we put in it. We got the best, we put premium fuel in, even when it doesn't tell us to. We do all the best stuff with that. But with our bodies, we don't quite do that. With our houses, we get the best TVs in them. We get the best air conditioner or heat system. We got the best lighting systems. We got the best fireplace in it. But with our bodies, we just put trash in it. With everything else around us, I mean, some of us, with our dogs, you put the best premium food you could possibly get for your dog. Like this dog right here eats a premium of the premium foods that you can get out of the store right now. All these dogs out here, except Shadow Man. Because he, I don't know why I don't give him that same food. I don't know, but all these dogs, because he's not active, he's not running and going. All my dogs that run and do anything, they get extremely nice, high grade, very extreme quality food that I pay extreme amount of money for their food to make sure that they're good to go. And a lot of us do that with our dogs, that we give them really, really, really nice food. But then for our own selves, we don't do that. You'll pay $50 a pound for some chicken for your dog, but for yourself, if it's more than $3, it's like, whoa, I can't do that. I can't make that happen. It's just such a confusing thing to me on how we are as a people and what it is that we do and what we look at our priorities as a people. That I don't know why, but I just have it in me that the cleaner and cleaner food that you eat, the better stuff that you start to consume, the more and more that you're going to start to really be a temple of God. You're really going to start to understand Him more. You're really going to start appreciating Him more, because you're going to have more time to not have to think about like things that are hurting, things that are damaged, things that are messed up, things that are this, and I'm so hungry and I'm so starving and I know this and I know that and I don't know how to make this happen. Just always having those thoughts inside of you instead of just staying focused on what really truly does matter. That you're starting to focus on other things out there instead of just focusing on what really does just matters, people. The one thing that really just matters is just making sure that you're taking care of yourself, making sure that you're taking care of your body, making sure that you're consuming the right things and you're doing the right stuff to be able to make sure that you stay nice and healthy and stay nice and lean and stay nice and just at it, stay nice and active and stay nice and just getting stuff done and staying focused on stuff and getting things done and not feeling like you're an addict that I just ate a huge meal and then you have to take a nap because you had a huge meal and then you wake up and then you need another huge meal like that. That none of that is real if that's the case that's going on. You shouldn't be able to process your food in about 30 minutes. And I know this for a fact because based on how I used to eat that food, that I just know I'd be out doing something, going somewhere and just get something real quick from a fast food place, and then I'd eat it and then to be satisfied for 30 minutes and then feel like, man, I wish I had a little bit more. I know you all feel that way because I see it. I watch what's going on, and I pay real close attention to what's going on. And I just noticed that is just unfortunately what is going on. And I don't know why it's going on, because I at the same time, I guess it's so people can make some money. People want to make money on us instead of worrying about us being healthy and being good to go. And I'm telling you, if you visit the doctor more than you visit the grocery store to getting quality food, you got to change that up. You got to change that up. You need to really, really start to change up what it is that your priorities are, because your priority should be the fact of being able to take care of your body. And your body, number one, first. And then everything else around you can come to you next. But if you're not good, if you're not taking care of you, how are you going to possibly be able to help someone else to take care of someone else to be able to do for anyone else? You're just going to be jammed up all the time. You're not going to be able to be satisfied yourself to be able to do anything for anyone else, because you're going to be listening to what someone has to say, and they're just going to be stuck in your thoughts of like, oh man, my stomach hurts. Oh man, I got this headache. Oh man, I got this problem with my heart problem going. Oh man, I got this happening. You're just going to be stuck in those thoughts instead of actually listening to what someone has to say to you. And I wonder how many times you run into a situation like that. And it's very, very interesting of a Bible verse that I was reading today that I was going through in the 1st of John, in the 3rd chapter of the 18th verse, talking about, hold on, let me grab that again real quick. Because I don't want to talk about something that I don't know 100% on, that I got to always be 100% on with what I'm talking about at all times. Because I don't need to get fact checked in reality. Dear children, let us not love with words or speech, but with actions and in truth. I just like that, actions and in truth. Because the actions and in truth is the real true way to go. That I could sit here and say to you all day, what is it you should eat, what you should try, what you should do, and what you should be about. But in reality, Oreo. Well, let's get down. But in reality, it's for me to show that what I talk about does work. Show what I talk about is real. Show what I talk about is the 100% truth of what it is that we have out here. That I don't just do something and then say something different. I do what I say every single time. And for me, it's a very, very interesting concept of how am I going to be one to sit here and say to you to, take care of what you eat and take care of what you do. And I'm just a really big dude. It would be such interesting stuff that I hear, and I've watched and I've studied several pastors who talk a lot about fasting a lot, who talk a lot about really good nutritional food a lot, who talk about taking care of your body a lot. But these guys are in the classification of obese. And it just doesn't make sense. If you're doing that, if you're on that, if you're on board with that, how come it just doesn't reflect it? How come your reality isn't showing what's going on? How come your actions aren't showing what it is that you're talking about? It's just stuff like that just really, really confuses me. It really throws me off. It throws me in a scramble of just not really sure who to really listen to and who really to pay attention to. Because if you're saying one thing, but then you're doing another thing, what's going on here? What's happening here? And for me, that's for me to keep on doing what it is that I'm doing, to keep on studying the way that it is that I'm studying, to keep on paying real close attention to things I pay attention to. And the fact that when I feed these animals just trash food, oh yeah, they love it. Oh yeah, they really, really do like it. They like it a lot. I mean, they like it so much that they will just sit there, eat and eat and eat and eat. And then they get so excited that they're frantic, that they're frustrated, anxious, frantic, eating like, oh, I need more, I need more, I need more, I need more. And then they get to the point of it's never ever satisfies them. So then they never even get sleep anymore. Now they're just pacing up the whole time like, oh my God, I just ate, but I need more. I need 8, but I need more. And they're just over indulging themselves to the point of absolute destruction. So I just keep watching that and I keep seeing that. And then I'll do the same with myself in the same way. That I'll go to places, to all these restaurants, and I would eat. I haven't ate any fast food. I don't think I ate any fast food at all this complete entire year. But I did go to restaurants all the time. And I would just eat and eat and eat and then finish a big meal and just look at it like, hey, can you give me some more of that? Because that wasn't quite enough. Because I just remember one restaurant specific, they're like, hey, our plates are really big and they really go all out here. And then we got the plate and just sit there and look at it like, hey, where the rest of this at? Because we already finished it all. Like, and the lady was like, oh, I'm impressed, but I'm not impressed because I'm just like, where's the rest of it at? Like, you can just eat so much of this food that's not actual food. It never ever gets you to the point of satisfaction. It just keeps you in the point of frustration. And you don't want to stay in frustration. You want to go and move on into being something completely different. And that completely different is being able to get the understanding and start to do and start to be about getting nice quality, fresh food. And in reality, I feel like the main reason that we don't have the massive availability of fresh food is because people just aren't buying it from the people that are trying to create it. If you went to one farmer that grows lettuce, that's just all he does. He just grows lettuce. I don't know why that's all he does, but all he does is grows lettuce. And if he had more people buy lettuce, what do you think that farmer would do? He would create more lettuce. But no one goes there and gets it. We keep going to the grocery store to get it, even though it's going to be the same cost, the same price. It's not like you're catching a deal with getting it from the store, but you're getting something that lacks all nutritional value. You're getting something that lacks everything. You're getting something that, hey, Johnny, you okay, man? You throwing up over there. This premium food, he talks, let's get down. It'd be the same price, but you're getting something that is just nutritionally not quite there. Something that was grown in fertilizers that are just not right. Just, man, you loud back there walking, homie. Some fertilizers that are just not right, that are just really, really nasty, that are just disturbing if you knew exactly in reality how it was actually grown and how it's actually made and how it's actually taken care of, that you would probably rethink getting it, but at the same time, you'd probably still just get it anyways, because it's just what we're programmed to do based on the information that keeps coming to us on our telephones on this is nasty here and this is bad here and that's bad there and that's no good there. And we all get thrown off, but I feel like that's by design for some reason today. Because like I'm saying, the more that you're hurting, the more that you're messed up, the more that your stomach isn't right, the more that you're really not having a good understanding of who God truly is. And you're not able to actually be able to hear him because you're just so cloudy, you're just so muddy, you're just so in pain all the time. You're just struggling all the time. And that's something that we really need to figure out how to be able to get away from, to get out of it and start to be able to take care of ourselves. And that's why for me, one of my big pushes is, like I said, you know what Jesus is? You need to start a farm up and we need to get medically better. We need to start being able to take care of ourselves and start to be able to get together to be able to learn how to be able to manage ourselves a little bit better so that we're not hurting as much as we're hurting and we're not getting destroyed as much as we're getting destroyed. That unfortunately, I don't know why, but I just feel like I hear more and more today. I hear way more today of very, very young people passing away on just simple stuff that we can manage and take care of before that would have happened. That we need to, I feel like there was a time in the day that in reality, my parents' era, well, we were living a long time. Like they was living, my grandparents was living, they living a long time. But now everyone that was born in the 80s and up, we're passing away and we're having massive diseases and we're having extreme amount of problems. We're having horrible diseases in us that are just not allowing us to be able to live past the age of 40 years old anymore. And people aren't going past the age of 50 years old anymore. Like that's starting to become a new normal of not making it past 60. Like that's what we're headed to. Where for a time it felt like we was headed out there. But now we have so many people, and maybe it's just today, maybe it's just nowadays, maybe it's just something going on that, you know, and who knows what it is, but I know that the food is the number one thing that can really change you up and make you do some different things and be about some different stuff on this planet. That I know that when you go out and start eating at a lot of these different places, that you're going to start not feeling all that great and not feeling all that good. That in reality, going to a fast food place and going to most of these restaurants is the same thing, because they all get the food from the same place. They all get from the same source. It's all from the same sources. So if the food's coming from the same sources, you're going to end up with the same result in the end. And it's something that I feel like we're not paying attention to today. That we're paying more attention to the fact of what kind of car I have, what kind of shoes I got, what kind of jacket I'm wearing, what kind of dog that I have. I mean, my goodness, these designer dogs are going crazy. What kind of all this stuff like that are going, that you're not actually going towards the thing that really does just truly matter the most. That who cares what kind of car you have if you're hurting trying to get in and out of it? Who cares what kind of house you have if you're stuck to the point that you're in a wheelchair, that you got to build a wheelchair ramp to be able to get around and be able to do everything inside of the house because you can't walk anymore at the age of 45? Who cares about all that stuff if you're not able to actually enjoy anything that you have and anything that you're doing? Who cares about any of it? And that's something that I really want more and more people to start questioning, to start challenging, to start just trying to get a better understanding of how to be able to take care of yourself a little bit better and stop relying on everyone else thinking that they're going to do the best for you. No, you got to start relying on your own self. You got to start taking care of your own self. You got to start relying on you and your own means to be able to get what it is that you need to take care of, and stop thinking that someone else has the best interest for you outside of someone who is trying to have the best interest for you, where they know where the food came from, they know what's going on, they know how to prepare it, they know how to make everything happen with it, but not these stores and this stuff out here that is just selling you stuff that they don't even know. They don't know. When you say, hey, well, I remember one time I went to go get some coleslaw and I was like, is mayonnaise in there? And the guy's looking at it, he's like, I don't know, it's not on the ingredients list, but maybe it is on the ingredients list. We got to check through and do all this. Like nobody even knows. They don't even know what they're selling us anymore. They're just selling us some stuff that who knows? Who knows what it is? Who knows how long it's been sitting there? Who knows what's been going on with it? Who knows how long they've left it out, and not if something that's, for instance, that's cooked, something they left out that hasn't been warmed, that hasn't been heated, that's just been sitting there for 4 hours, and then they just heat it up and give it to you. Like, that is such a disturbing thing for you to be consuming that you can get extremely sick off of something like that. And that happens every day, and why I just don't go to fast food places anymore, because that's primarily how they cook food. They pre-cook it all and then just let it sit out for hours. And then when you're ready to order it, then they'll heat it up real quick and then hand it to you. That is the #1 way to make sure that you got all kinds of sickness going on inside of your stomach. That's the #1 way to make sure that you are always constantly just gaining weight in places that you just don't understand how to lose it. Like gaining weight here, gaining weight here, gaining weight here, gaining weight in places that you just, it's not natural. It's not, we're not supposed to have it there at all, because there's no way, not no way, but there is no way to work it off in those areas. There's no exercises to do to be able to get some of this weight off of our bodies that are constantly getting built up by a lot of this food that we're eating. And with that said, I just want to say thank you. I want to say, let's get, yep. I just want to say thank you for being able to have the opportunity, but not so much as the opportunity just came to me. The opportunity didn't just show up and it's just sit here, sign here, here you go, you can live here and take care of this now. No, this is work. This is dedication. This is an extreme amount of persistence and willpower to keep continuing to do what it is that I'm doing and keep continuing to stay a certain size in a certain way for my own self, to make sure that I am being as healthy as I possibly can, to be able to be someone who says exactly what he does and is doing exactly what he says. That I just want to say thanks for the fact of being able to have the opportunity to be here. But then again, it's a lot. But I'm thankful for being able to have the inspiration to be able to say, hey, let's change something. Because there was a time in the day that I was just eating and eating and eating. And then I got sick one day real bad. And then I got sick again on the vegan diet. I got sick again on that. And then I just kept changing and changing to the point of getting to the point that what I'm doing here right now with creating my own, I had no choice. And I had no choice based on the research that I was doing to move and do something different and have something different. And I'm telling you, it's only been able to upgrade my life since I've started doing it. And not even just having my own, but it is having your own. Take care of your own, knowing that you have your own, knowing the skills required to be able to take care of it, knowing the skills required to be able to manage all of it from start to finish, and be able to continually keep doing that. Like, that's just something that is just absolutely empowering as a human being on this planet, to be able to have a source of your own stuff that you have and the know-hows of how to be able to take care of it. Like, that is just the most powerful thing to ever be a part of. That you can buy all these things, you can spend all your money on all these things, but unless you live a nice experience of doing something, you're not living yet. You just aren't. You're not headed towards a position to be able to do something absolutely great on this planet. You're still just a slave, not knowing how to take care of yourself. You just are. And that's something that I want more and more people to be able to get out of. And I'm just so thankful to be able to be a part of being able to make this happen out here, and to be able to get the skills needed and the skills required. And the skills needed, that I'll overdo it a lot just so that I can get better at being able to teach someone else how to do it. That I want to be able to have the ease in me to be able to easily show someone, this is how you do this right here. This is how you make this happen right here. If that happened, then this is what we got to do to change it now. Just to keep on researching, to keep on studying, to keep on going, to make sure that I'm on top of my game with having a good understanding of how to be able to help any and every single person out with every single one of these things that I do out here, that I'm constantly working on and working with. And there's going to come in a time in the day that these skills are going to be absolutely required, that you're not going to be able to have just the ease of access to be able to do what it is that you think you're doing, and the ease of access of going where you want to go. Because just the way that things are going, it's always trends, people. You can watch it, you can study, you can pay close attention to it, you can see what's going on. And I can watch today of just knowing that we didn't get no rain all year, everywhere. Like, just everywhere didn't get rain this year. And if everywhere didn't get rain this year, everywhere didn't get any crops grown this year. If everyone didn't get any crops grown this year, that means that we have a huge amount of food that's going to be missing somehow in some way. And if we have a huge amount of food that's missing, that means we got a huge amount of food that we need to figure out how to supplement, to replace, to get in. And I just know when things like that go on, that we're going to have sticky situations upon us, because you don't just catch up on that. We do have, say, a supply, but we can't store lettuce. We can't store green beans. We can't store soybeans. We can't store any of this stuff. We can't just hold on to it. We gotta get it, grow it, and get it out to market. It's not something to just hold on for 5 years and you just have a 5-year supply of it. No, that's not the way that this works. And I think that a lot of people quite aren't understanding that, especially with chicken. You don't just, chicken has a processing date before it's even born. That's how that works. You don't just raise it and keep it for 15 years and then just start letting some go. No, if they had to kill out a flock of 1 million, that's gone. That's gone. That's not coming back. There's no replacement for that. That's just gone. That's a sticky situation to be a part of and be in. And we had a lot of that going on this year. That just millions upon millions of fowl were just destroyed this year. And if that keeps happening, same thing with all the cattle. All the cattle the same way. If that just keeps happening, there's going to be a gap in place where you're going to be missing some stuff, or things are going to be so expensive that you ain't gonna be able to buy it. You're not buying it. You're not getting it. So that's why we need the skills needed to be able to do and be able to handle and make sure that we can take care of ourselves if something were to happen that we need it. And if nothing does happen. If nothing does happen, if everything is good, if everything is smooth, if everything is great, nothing and the prices go down and everything is good to go, awesome. At least you gained experience, life experience, to learn how to be able to do some stuff, to be able to take care of yourself, to be able to make something happen. At least you got experience. Experience is way greater than anything else that you could possibly be a part of on this planet. Material items just fade and disappear, but experience only just gets better and better once you start it. Once you did it once, now you got the mindset, you got the thinking on it, now you're able to keep thinking on how to do it better next time. As opposed to getting a better suit on at this time, and then in 2 weeks you're going to be too big that you got to get it tailored because now you gained weight in this one place, and then 2 weeks you got to get it tailored because you got to gain weight in this place, and constantly keep doing stuff like that. That stuff is just it's no experience. There's no life behind that. That's just absolutely meaningless stuff that just burns and it gets destroyed and it turns into nothingness in the end. But living life for experience is going to be able to give you and bring you something absolutely awesome, something absolutely amazing on this planet. And that's something that I want more and more people to really have a good understanding of, how to be able to live for experience instead of just living for stuff. And these skills are something that's fun to be a part of. That's fun to be fun to be around. It's fun to be able to get your hands in on. It's fun to be able to get to expertise to be able to do what it is to be able to feed your own self. And it's something that I know we've gone far away from. We've gone away from this. We look at it like it's just horrible work, that it's just damaging work, that it's just pointless work, worthless work, but it's not. It's something that can fulfill you. It can build you up. And some people just don't need it. Who cares? Do what you keep doing. But there's a whole lot of other people that I'm telling you, this right here, working with your own food, being out here being around some stuff like this is going to upgrade your life to the point of just absolute amaze. You're going to look at it like it's work at first, but then 2 or 3 days into it, you're going to say, this is really cool. This is neat. It's nice to be out here to be able to do this. It's nice to be able to be a part of this. It's nice to be able to get a good understanding of how this works and how this works and how that works. Like me, right here behind me, that's my water treatment plant right there. I got my well over there, my pump over there. Then I've got the house in there that's got the water separator thing, and it's got a water pressurizer thing. Then it's got the water transfer pump thing in there, and that's my water tower right there. My big old water tower that's filled with water to make sure that I have a constant flow of water no matter what's gunshot. That don't matter what's going on. Let's get down. I got my own system right here. That's so cool to just sit here, study it, get a good understanding of it, and get a good understanding of how it works and why it works and every single piece to get the water all the way into the house. And then over there, I got the water softener system that goes through 2 different systems to be able to get it all brined up and cleaned up and salted down and get into the house. And so it's nice and soft and fresh and just pretty. And it's just like there's a whole process right here. Like that's the water treatment system right there. That's all part of here. It doesn't come from nowhere else. It's all right here. This is just cool. It's just cool to be able to be around it, to get a good understanding of it, that's a very, very high powerful rifle that this guy is shooting right here right now. It's a little intimidating sounding, because that's some military grade sounding stuff there. Don't make no sense of how some people have some guns that are just, oh my goodness, y'all's guns that y'all have are just crazy. Absolutely crazy. That's at least that's a 50 cal shooting right there. That thing is powerful. That's enough to blow a hole through me. But it's just nice to be out here. Even to hear that, some people even like to do the shooting and stuff. And go ahead and go out and do your shooting. Get your practice and get better at it. And don't just store it all up, but actually know how to use it and use it and utilize it, and not just have it. Know how to take it all apart. Know how to clean it all up. Know how to make your own ammo. Know how to recase and do all the stuff and do everything that you need to do with it. Like, get some experience. Do something. Make something happen. And I don't know why, but I just enjoy enjoy being able to do this and enjoy being able to be a part of this. And I want more people to be able to do the exact same thing. And I'm just so thankful to be able to be a part of being able to make this happen, that nobody brought this upon me, nobody forced this upon me. I just did it all on my own, that I absolutely enjoy it. And I hope that we never get to the point again in life, like, yeah, I hope that we don't get to the point that someone forces you to have to do some work like this, that this is still just an optional thing for us to do. But in reality, if prices get too high or scarcity starts to come around, you will be forced into it. And that's going to be a very, very unfortunate situation, that if you're forced into it as opposed to just wanting to do it to learn something new, you're going to look at it differently. Like, for instance, if today or tomorrow that things change and all of a sudden, oh, there's no food anywhere and there's no this, I'm already doing this. So I'm already enjoying this. As opposed to if that happened and then I had to scramble and try to find a place to start this, it would be a different feeling. It would be a very different understanding of life to be out here to do that. That you'd rather get in it up front and get some skills and get some knowledge up front before you end up just having to be forced to have to do something. And that's something that more and more of us really need to just grab some skills so that we can be a better, more quality human being on this planet, and start to learn how to eat some better food so that we can start to become some better people. And that's just something that I don't know why, but I just want more and more people to be able to be a part of and to be able to have that. I want to be one who does it. I don't just talk about it, but I do this. I take care of this. I manage this. I make this happen. And I want more people to be able to have the same type stuff. And with that said, I just want to say thanks, and I got to head on out of here. It is chilly out today, and y'all have a fantastic, great, awesome day, evening, morning time, because it's starting to get cold again. It's going to be 30 degrees tonight.